From having fun while being productive to helping you find your audience online. Let's chat about my top 5 books for entrepreneurs. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick Russell, and today we're going to be talking about books. Now, these are my top 5. Now, it was hard to come up with just 5 because I've got so many books that I want to talk about. So these are the top 5 I want to talk about right now. And these are books that are going to help out entrepreneurs as well as anybody that wants to be more productive. Now, growing up and all throughout school, I absolutely hated reading. Unless it was a comic book, I didn't want to read at all. And I would do anything in my power to not read. So it was a big switch when I started my business and I wanted to start learning different tricks and tips and how to grow business, things like that. And that's where I found some of these books when I started the business. But I fell in love with reading for the very first time, and that wasn't, well, we're not going to say how old, but I fell in love with reading when I grew my business. Now, for me, one of the ways that helps me read a lot faster is I'll take a book and I'll listen to the Audible audiobook while I read. So I'll have that playing in my ear, and I'll sit there and read along with it. So that's kind of how I get through as many books as I do. Now, I will admit I am a slow reader, but it's between Audible and the actual physical book that I can take off my shelf, have in my hand, and start reading. That's my method. Now, let's talk about these 5 books. And the first one I want to talk about is Dotcom Secrets. Now, if you're not familiar with Russell Brunson owns a company called ClickFunnels. And what that is it's a kind of a website, but designed to funnel your audience through all of your products, your offers, and essentially up a value ladder, which starts off with maybe a freebie to an offer that coincides with that, for a little bit more value, providing more value at a higher price, and you're going up the ladder that way. Now, and that's what Dotcom Secrets is. This is the first in his series, 3-book series, that kind of introduces you to the secret formula of funnels that helps you understand who your dream client is. And then he goes into the value ladder, teaching you what a value ladder is. And then it helps you identify your attractive character. Now, as an example, one of the things, I forget if it was in the older version or if it's in this version, but Russell talks about the attractive character and how Subway used, I won't mention his name because it's kind of controversial now and he's been since fired, but Subway built their marketing campaign for years around one attractive character. Unfortunately, it backfired on them in the end, but this book talks about how to either use yourself or somebody else as an attractive character and go into that. And it also introduces something called the soap opera sequence, which is kind of your opening email sequence. So there's a lot of value in this book, and it really helps you if you want to get started in marketing yourself online, whether that be a personal brand or your business. This is a great start. All right, the next book on the list is Russell Brunson's second book, and that's Expert Secrets. Now, this is probably one of my favorite books out of the series that Russell wrote. And this is all about becoming the expert and really kind of how to tell your story. Now, in this book, he talks about your 5 phases of becoming an expert and finding your voice, from the dreamer, kind of thinking up all the ideas, to the reporter, when you're going out and collecting all that information as you get started, to building the framework and, creating a framework around what you want to give to your audience, to being the servant and actually serving your audience, to the expert guide, where you can actually guide others and show them how to become an expert in whatever field you want them. And then it also talks about what Russell calls the perfect webinar. So if you're going to be doing a webinar, selling things online, it's an amazing way to do that and provide value. And he talks about all of that here in Expert Secrets. All right, let's talk about the third book in a Russell series and the third book I have on this list, and that's Traffic Secrets. Now, this is the third and final book that Russell wrote. He's got a few other ones, but this is the Secret series of books, and Traffic Secrets is all about traffic. Now, traffic is what you do online. It's the traffic that you get to your website and then how to convert that traffic into customers. So in here, he talks about the different markets. So if it's healthcare, if it's in a relationship market or wealth market, and then there's all kinds of sub-markets in those three, and then how to find your niche. So finding out what market, what sub-market, and what niche is yours. He talks about how you can do that. And then understanding how to tell a story to convert that traffic, and as well as building a tribe. So a tribe is basically your audience that stays with you and will continually buy all the offers that you have. So kind of similar to The Raving Fan, if you've read that book. But if you're looking to take your audience and learn how to drive traffic, this is definitely the book for you. Now, out of those three books, and I put links to each of these in the description, I will say for the Russell Brunson Secret Series books, I am an affiliate, so I get a small kickback for these books. But if you click on any of the links to get any of these books, I recommend starting with Dotcom Secrets. But in Dotcom Secrets, if you go through that funnel, you have the option to buy all three of the hardcover books. And doing that, he actually has a very large hardcover workbook. So as you read all three of the secret books, you can fill out this workbook, and this basically becomes your blueprint, your guide to marketing yourself or your business online. So again, the links in the description video to get any of the books. But if you go through the Russell's funnel, you'll be able to get the whole series of books, and you'll get the workbook, which is a game changer. This is always near me at all times, and over the past, I don't know how many years now, I always refer back to this. All right, fourth up on the list is Feel Good Productivity by Ali Abdaal. Now, this is the last book I read, and I'm absolutely in love with this book. Now, like I just said with Traffic Secrets and kind of building that tribe and becoming a Raving Fan and all that, I'm definitely all in with Ali Abdaal and his Feel Good Productivity system. And basically, it's not a one-size-fits-all system. And that's what he talks about in here is you can build your own system, because there isn't a one-size-fits-all for everybody. But in Feel Good Productivity, he talks about how to be productive and making that fun. So it doesn't have to be boring and dry, and you have to time block, and you have to use the 80-20 rule and do this step by step by step. It's all about finding how you can make yourself productive, how you can overcome procrastination, and how to set meaningful goals, and how to overcome the obstacles that are put in front of you and make it fun while you're doing that. As well as Ali Abdaal does his weekly review workshop, and a lot of that I do now weekly are stuff that I've got out of this book. So if you're looking for something different from all the other productivity books that are out there and you want to make things fun, I would highly recommend checking out this book. Now, one of the other cool things that I've learned from Ali Abdaal is while you're working and you want to make it a little more fun, get a playlist, something like the Avengers playlist or the soundtrack to Batman or the soundtrack to Harry Potter or whatever your favorite movie is. Use that soundtrack and have that playing in the background. And I've noticed, especially with the Avengers, as you hear that orchestra that's in that soundtrack, it brings you back to a spot in that movie, and you kind of relate that to what you're doing at that moment. It kind of helps you have a little more fun with your tasks and your projects. So highly recommend checking out Feel Good Productivity. All right, the last book on this list is Eat That Frog. And this is not a cookbook by any means. This is a book by Brian Tracy, and what he talks about in this book is a different way of looking at your task list and prioritizing your tasks. And he uses a metaphor of eating that frog. So nobody that I know, and I definitely don't want to eat a frog, but for him, the frog is your biggest, hardest task that you don't want to tackle. But if you get rid of that super big, hard task out of the way first thing in the morning, then your next task will be the next biggest. And as you get down your task list, things get so much easier, and you'll notice over time you'll get a lot more done. And I bought this book in, I believe, 2018, and I've been using the Eat the Frog method since, and it has changed the way I look at my task list, how I organize my to-do list, and how I go throughout my day in getting stuff done. Now, he also talks about a whole lot of other things in here, like the 80-20 rule and time management. But if you're looking to rework your entire task list and you want to be more organized and get more done, be a little more productive, I highly recommend this book. It's a shorter book. It's a quick read, but well worth the money and effort. So that is Eat the Frog by Brian Tracy. So those are the top 5 books that I recommend. And I'm probably going to do another one of these videos in the coming months, because there's so many books that I want to recommend and so many books that I absolutely love. So I wanted to kind of take a couple that'll help people grow online, hence me being a social media manager and helping businesses and entrepreneurs grow online using social media. So I wanted to recommend a book or set of books that'll help with that, as well as being more productive. And as I develop systems and help entrepreneurs with their systems, those are 2 of the biggest influences in what I do when I help entrepreneurs become more productive and build out their systems. Now, I've got links to each of the 5 books in the description below. And like I said, the Russell Brunson books, Dotcom Expert and Traffic Secrets, those are affiliate links. And it doesn't change anything for you. I just get a little kickback if you buy those books using my links. As well as that, those are free. The Dotcom Secrets, the Expert Secrets, and the Traffic Secrets are all free. You just have to pay shipping. If you're in the US, I believe it's about $7-8. In Canada, I believe it's about 15 to 20. I think it was in around $18 for the shipping. But the books are absolutely free. And if you get the upsell, you can get all 3 of those books when you go through his funnel and get that workbook. Or just get each individually. That's free plus shipping. And there you go. So all those links are in the description for those books. I highly recommend you checking them out. If you got some value out of this video, I would love for you to like the video, subscribe to the channel if it's something that you're interested in, and be sure to leave me a comment and let me know what you think and how I can improve. I'm trying this YouTube thing out, and this is a learning curve for me, so hopefully each video I get better, and I hope you enjoy the content. So until next time, we'll chat soon.